at the store and not sure why? Price tags are disappearing and prices are shifting by the minute.
Yeah, today on Talk Pittsburgh, we're unpacking dynamic pricing, how it works, and what it means for your wallet.
We're also heading to Phipps Conservatory for an inside look at their spring orchid and bonsai show.
Oh, I'm thinking spring could help us embrace today's chill, or actually brace for today's chill. It's very cold. But first, a look at the news in our city. It's your Bird's Eye View.
You will feel it as soon as you step out the front door.
Absolute temperature, it starts getting below zero. That becomes harder on the equipment. The diesel fuel can gel up, it can thicken, and that can make the running of the buses problematic.
Megan Shin is joining us live in the newsroom this morning with what exactly he had to say. Good morning to you, Megan.
Good morning, Erica, and good morning, David. We know David Burra, U.S. Steel's CEO, met Tony DeCopel at the Irvin plant, and he says you'll find U.S. Steel products in appliances, vehicles, oil, gas, and construction sites. In addition, he assured U.S. Steel is an American-made product and will stay in America. Japan's Nippon Steel acquired U.S. Steel last year, and now Burra says he expects growth. Over the next few years, they're going to spend around $14 billion at U.S. Steel.
We're aligned with what the president wants us to do. In fact, we wouldn't have agreed to this thing if we weren't sure it was going to be great for our workers and great for our company.
And like he's done pretty much in the previous 1,399, he was a significant factor in a nice win to start a 4-game road trip. The Penguins and Kraken got it on in Seattle today. Sid's 1,400th game.
Check this out. It's a first for Baldwin High School. The school's cheerleading team won its first ever state championship. The team competed last Saturday in the 3A division, and now they're off to Orlando next week to compete for a national title. Hey, Baldwin, we are cheering for your cheering. Good luck.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations to the Fighting Highlanders. Now, maybe you're about to jump on your phone to find out what a Fighting Highlander is, and that gets you scrolling. But have you noticed scrolling seems a little different lately? Yeah, we've all noticed something seems a little off and closer to home. Heather, what's the 411 with the FYP?
One of my favorite pastimes, I think like many others, is getting lost in the FYP on TikTok or For You page if you're new to all this. Typically, this feed is made up of viral videos or influencers who naturally have a huge following and therefore a big view count. And of course, there are some ads sprinkled in. What you're seeing here is just 1 minute of my FYP. I took this yesterday. As soon as I opened the app, I started off with a video from Westview. Now, you're still going to see a mix of videos, but of the 40-plus videos I scrolled through quickly for the sake of this test, 7 of them were very local, very Pittsburgh, Western PA based. Now, that's still only 16%, but for regular users of the app, it's going to feel like a jump in hyper-local content. Before, you may not have seen any of these. So why the push into local? I did reach out to TikTok to see if there was an answer to that. We didn't get an immediate response to my inquiry. I did just reach out yesterday afternoon, so it hasn't been a lot of time. But what I can tell you is this. There was a trend late last year with people writing in quotations over their videos, FYP2 local, and then other creators advising that at some point you probably interacted with local content, and that's what changed your algorithm. I still think that there's more to this. Now, again, without having some information from TikTok, from the developers of this and anybody who's working for the company, it's really hard to say for certain. But in conversations that I'm having with other people who use the app heavily, it feels like maybe there's this push because you may have previously seen from influencers, and it's very influencer saturated. Yeah. You may have seen from influencers in California about their favorite pizza place. Well, guess what? I'm not in California.
Doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
Right. So now there's this push so that you're seeing hyper-local content, things that you're actually going to be able to do, eat, try, explore. And so if there's any company involvement, now you're spending your money local.
I feel like both you and I noticed this before it was even a thing. We were saying like, hey, like all of a sudden I'm seeing all of these videos related to Pittsburghers and influencers who live here, and it wasn't that way before. And I appreciate it because I love learning things about our city and not random places all over the country.
Here's what stands out about it. It's because some of these videos that you're getting on your FYP are not from influencers. You're gonna get somebody who literally there might be 3 interactions total with the video. Maybe 3 people have liked it or 1 person has commented. That's the thing that makes it seem so strange is you're like, why is this popping up in my feed? Why is TikTok pushing this into my algorithm? So we wanted to bring in Dr. Jess Galani because this is kind of her bread and butter.
Of course it is.
Galani.
It is.
I'm still training my brain.
Galani.
We're so happy you're here, and you're going to be talking about dynamic pricing coming up, but we thought you'd be a great person to pull into this conversation.
Thanks.
Is this something that you have noticed?
Yes, absolutely. And there's actually something legitimate, I think, behind it that's happening. So what I found out when I looked into this was that TikTok rolled out in early December a feature called TikTok Nearby. And TikTok Nearby was only available so far in the UK, France, Italy, and Germany. But what that says to me is that they really see some sort of value in the idea of this hyperlocal content, and they're probably doing some tests that are not announced. By the time a platform announces a new feature, it's usually because they have done all sorts of different tests along the way. And sometimes that means that they are, doing back-end tests that we don't know about.
Do you think that this is because we've noticed kind of this oversaturation of very exposed influencers? And I think for someone who follows some of them, it becomes hard to know if their reactions are genuine anymore because they're pushing out so much sponsored content.
Absolutely. I think that there's, so much value to feeling a placeness and a connection to a post based on feeling that shared sense of background through geography. And they're using not just our location services, but also our IP addresses. So if you don't have location services on, you still might get that hyperlocal content.
Yeah, I noticed that. Even if I watch something maybe once or twice of similar content material, all of a sudden it's feeding me that type of video every time I log into TikTok. And you almost feel like the world is happening in that manner, but it's really not. It's just feeding you certain stories that relate to one another.
Yeah, and I think often, when we do engage with content, that's a tell to the algorithm to send us more just like it. But I don't think that's all there is to it. I do think they're doing some of this testing to see if it's going to work in the U.S.
Like Mikey and I both said, we don't mind it.
No.
It just feels a little odd. That's all. We're just not familiar with it. So, okay, we can't wait to talk with you a little bit more coming up later today. Still to come though on Talk Pittsburgh. Today is a national day for all of you cheese fanatics. That includes me. Which one reigns supreme and which ones are extra sharp? From melty classics to stinky standouts, what's your go-to cheese and how should it be used? We're serving up your answers in the 3 o'clock drop.
Plus, these faces you see are proof that leadership doesn't come with an age requirement. Find out how members of Junior Achievement's 18 under 18 class are making a powerful impact in our community.
And check out our Junior Achievement question of the week. What percentage of alumni say their work ethic, career choices, or money management were positively influenced by their JA experience?
Learn more about Junior Achievement later this hour here on Talk Pittsburgh. Then scan the QR code and let us know what you think.
And what's the best way to escape this week's freezing temps? Boaz found one. So where are you?
I am in Oakland at Phipps Conservatory where the Orchid and Tropical Bonsai Show is in full swing. We're going to show you around right after the break.
Want to go somewhere warm and tropical without hopping on a flight or taking a 15-hour road trip? Easy. Just drive to Oakland and step inside Phipps Conservatory. Their Orchid and Tropical Bonsai Show opened this month, and it might be the perfect escape this time of year. Boaz is at Phipps to peek behind the petals. How's it looking over there?
I'll tell you, it's looking a lot better in here than it is outside. It is so cold today. I am so happy to be inside the glass out here at Phipps, and it looks beautiful too. I'm here with Jordan, the Associate Director of Exhibits. We need this time of year, so thank you on behalf of the city for giving us a warm escape. And this year it is really fun. The theme is sort of love and almost a little Valentine's Day.
Blooming with love.
Yeah.
And this show is sure to wow our guests. Lots of bold colors, intricate details, and some sweet fragrances too among our orchids.
I didn't realize that some orchids were scented. Can you show me a scented orchid?
Let's take a look.
I think we're going to fire up the smell-o-vision here, so you at home get close to your TV screens and start sniffing.
Exactly it. This is Oncidium, sweet fragrance, and it really has like a chocolate cherry smell. Get on in there, camera.
Oh my
and smell
goodness,
that.
it does.
Isn't it beautiful?
Smell like chocolate cherry. Can you smell that at home, folks? This is wild. Oh, that's so cool. And how many orchids are in this show?
Thousands. thousands of orchids, including some of our collection orchids that we're taking out of our collection that are on bloom right now.
Yeah.
Lady slippers, cloesia, lots of really interesting
And this
flowers.
is a scented one too, right?
Yes, this cloesia here.
So you go and you just spray the perfume on them in the morning? No.
It has a very like lemony scent, kind of like a lemon citrus.
Okay,
Very
let's
good.
see. I'm gonna go for a sniff. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, also the thing that's wild is your props and just sort of the staging is so impressive. Like, there's a giant statue and like gazebo here. Like, that wasn't here like 2 weeks ago for the winter show.
Exactly, that wasn't here
Yeah.
a few days ago. Yeah, and for this show, we're taking out and highlighting some of our art collection as well. So this is a bronze statue that's part of our art collection. We also have some of the cherubs here in the palm court that we're highlighting
Oh,
too.
yeah. Let's check these out over here. So these are here all the time, but they're really shining in this love-centric
Yes.
sort of installation.
And we're highlighting them with these floral wreaths and this ring of orchids down below. These cherubs are made out of lead and stone.
Oh, wow.
And yeah,
so
they're
make
here
sure
all
the
the
kids
time,
don't
but
lick them. They are made of lead.
But we're really highlighting them for our love-themed
Yeah,
show.
and I think we have some photos of some of the other rooms because I want to sneak over here and get to some bonsai too. And so you have redone all these rooms. If people were here 2 weeks ago and saw the holiday light show, that's all gone. Now everything is orchids and bonsai, and that
It's
changeover is
refreshing.
really impressive.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what we need. It's warm, it's humid in here. This is exactly what you need for the winter time.
Yeah, and so Phipps has this huge bonsai collection.
We do, and so this is the perfect time of year to highlight our tropical bonsai. And these are tropical small trees that have been in training for many years. And the really cool thing about bonsai is not how old it actually is, but how old it appears.
Well, that feels like the opposite. I feel like we're using all these lotions and serums to make us look younger, and these people are trimming in a certain way to try to make the tree look older.
Instead of anti-aging,
Yeah.
it's pro-aging, right? Yeah.
And one thing you're doing this year is you have this voting system.
Yes, you can vote with your heart.
Okay.
So when you come in the room, take a little wooden heart
All right.
and spend some time checking out all of the details of all of the bonsai specimens in here and vote for your favorite one.
Okay, and so what happens to the winning bonsai? Does it win like a gift card to Primanti's?
The winning bonsai will be featured on our Instagram and Facebook, all of our social media accounts.
And what do you think that means to the tree that wins to be featured on your Instagram?
It's always good to feel the love, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's true. It is true. Well, there are a lot of, okay, I think I really like this one over here because I love just the moss and stuff and the roots down there. It's just so beautiful. This one's getting variegated weeping fig. Congratulations. Today, you are getting my vote. I don't know, in studio, do you agree with my vote? Do you have any other thoughts?
I do. I have tons of thoughts. I think it is so fascinating that they picked two of like the most intricate and hardest things and put them together in a show. Because orchids, I know how hard they are to keep alive for so many home gardeners. And then bonsai are really tough to prune and make them look as beautiful. I mean, it's just hard work.
Phipps just wants to impress you this time of year.
I am thoroughly impressed, Boaz. Thank you so much. We're going to check back in with you. It's beautiful, yeah. All right, we'll check back in with Boaz in just a bit to see more of the Orchid and Tropical Bonsai show at Phipps later in the show. Next on Talk Pittsburgh, though, after an extremely cold dip, can we get the roller coaster to go back up the hill? Because, Mary, we are shivering.
It goes back up then back down.
Cool.
I'll tell you how cold it's going to feel, and that's coming up when we come back.
Actually, Mary, I love the cold, but this is cold. This is a little different.
I like that you start with actually.
Yeah.
Actually, this is how we're going to start this.
It is cold. We do warm up. We get back again to those upper 30s, but then we have some snow, and then the cold weather is back, unfortunately.
Yeah. So no real good news is what you're telling us?
Not really, no. Because when we have warmer temperatures, we have snow, and then we're tracking another system. So it's a never-ending weather week here.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so we have a lot coming our way. And I know that you guys are kind of eyeing what's coming this weekend, too, in addition to some of the colder temperatures.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you talking about the Northern Lights?
Yeah, so tell us a little bit
Let's
more
talk about the Northern. They were
Yeah.
so pretty last night, right? Yeah, so yesterday there was a G4 magnetic storm watch. So how auroras form, this is just something kind of interesting if you're wondering how we get that. So we get the solar wind, we get those charged protons and electrons that are emitted from the sun, and then those particles, they follow that Earth's magnetic field, and then they enter the Earth's atmosphere. That's where the field's the weakest during the poles, and then as we get into the whole atmosphere, how you can visibly see them, the electrons, they collide with those various molecules in the atmosphere, and then that results in these beautiful colors, and the reds, they are the oxygen molecules, the blue auroras are the nitrogen, the green are the oxygen, and the pink are more nitrogen.
Oh my gosh. You
That's
just dropped a
amazing.
whole lot
I
of
know.
knowledge.
It was really pretty last night, and I saw so many pictures, and I wanted to go out, but I was like, it's so cold, I don't think I want to.
So cold.
But yeah, it was nice.
I honestly feel like 20 years ago, we were not talking about seeing the Northern Lights this
not.
far.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Really cool, though.
It is.
Very
Beautiful.
Thanks, Mary.
Well, today is National Cheese Lovers Day. Yes, it is a real holiday. And yes, it matters because cheese can turn a bad day into a good one in about 3 bites.
3.
The first
3. I just smell it. I'm like, there's cheese here. So we're asking the question, what's your favorite kind of cheese and what's the best way to use it? It's time to dive into today's tasty 3 o'clock drop with Kiki B. Jones from Whammo. Please tell me you have a favorite cheese.
Well, when I am trying to be a bad girl because I cannot eat cheese.
What? Are you lactose intolerant?
I am lactose intolerant, but there is a pill for that. Okay? I do pop a pill, or sometimes I take one for the team if I don't have any. Swiss and pepper jack.
Okay.
But I like gourmet cheeses, but I'm scared to indulge because
the
it's
thing,
very
right.
painful. The thing happens, and it's not a good thing.
It's not a good
Swiss
thing.
pepper jack
No.
on a sandwich?
It's
or
on a
just-
sandwich. I get it on
Right.
at Subway sub, and I'm good.
And that's it. That's all you need.
That's it. That's all I got.
That and your pill.
That my
Okay.
pi-
We're
my
thinking
pill is
about
my
you.
pill, honey.
I know. Hey, I'm not
need
mad
that
at
pill.
it.
Need the pill.
Need
All
the
right.
pill.
Let's
or
get
it's a
to Margie.
bad ride.
It doesn't seem to be lactose intolerant because she goes all in with some Jarlsberg. She says it's great grilled cheese sandwiches on pumpernickel. That's what she's going with. Mustard, sauerkraut, shredded. You can mix with diced red onions, chives, and mayo. Killer dip, too.
Sounds like that is a
sounds
party
good.
of one sandwich.
Gosh, it sounds like she needs to
I
sell
like
this.
the way that she rolls.
I like this.
I'm in.
Christy says, I like Munster cheese.
So do
it
I.
melts lovely on a grilled cheese. Oh my gosh, that's making me so hungry.
grilled cheese.
Honorable mention is ricotta. I
with
tried
you.
for the first time outside of a lasagna or ravioli. It was whipped ricotta topped with honey,
Yep.
lemon, and fresh herbs. 10 out of 10, she says.
That sounds good. My stomach hurts.
Delicious.
Whipped ricotta is one of my favorite things. You put it on a little toasted baguette and little crostini.
good.
Sounds great.
Sounds like you're living your life. Like you're living the dream.
I made them Saturday.
Sounds
Of course you did.
delicious.
Heather Hoy, feta. I mean, how can you go wrong? Am
come on.
right?
Yeah.
I put it on everything from salads to sweet potatoes to seafood to burgers. Make a dip, soup, or just eat it by itself.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love feta. I prefer goat cheese, though.
Feta's I put it on salad. It's on salad.
Feta's a little
Yeah.
more firm. It's good, though. It's
good.
Yeah.
Shirley says fontanella on Mancini's bread, topped with roasted red peppers. I love how
That
specific
sounds good.
she was.
You don't need anything else,
No,
Shirley.
that's it.
That's fantastic. I do also love goat cheese. Can you
love
eat
goat
goat
cheese.
cheese with
If
your
I take a
condition?
pill. If I take a pill,
No.
Condition.
my condition. Can I get a placard so I can park in special lactose intolerant parking spaces, please? Please. That's
Our
a
girl,
condition.
Dr. Katie Stewart, says halloumi, is that how you say it? Pan fry it and throw it on a salad or use it with hot honey for tacos. Okay, listen, I just saw
That's
how,
great. Okay.
how to make homemade mozzarella, like the whole thing.
whole block.
They sell them at Chili's, but this woman gave a recipe where you slice a block of mozzarella and then you panko bread it and you fry it and then you put hot honey all over it and then you dip it and
So it's like
She's
mozzarella
so excited.
sticks with hot honey.
She is just,
and then you dip.
look,
That
she's
sounds good.
excited. She's
I've never had
excited.
halloumi before. She is really excited. She loves cheese. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who loves cheese this much. Matt says the government cheese,
Yes.
the government
Come
cheese we got
through.
as kids was the best. We called it the stand-in line cheese.
Let me tell
I've
you.
never tasted a better cheese. Let me say that.
Let me tell
That's
you.
a good cheese.
wait, I
That
don't
is the
remember this.
best.
It came in the cardboard box.
That is it came in, it's
lift
before
the lid off
Velveeta.
of it. Yeah.
It was before Velveeta. It was a brick.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
And you had that thing in your refrigerator for a good 2 years.
See, and it was still good.
It was still good.
Yeah. That made the best grilled cheese sandwiches.
I mean, I do love Velveeta. It does make the best mac and cheese.
This is before Velveeta.
Yeah.
Janine says smoked Gouda in mac and cheese is a must.
Gouda's Gouda.
I do like a good combo in my mac and cheese with some Gouda. Throw in some Velveeta too because you want it to be creamy.
Elevated mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Gruyere, is that right?
Yep.
By itself in fondue on French onion soup.
Yeah.
Or most recently melted on puff pastry with fig
That's
jam
what
and
that is?
honey drizzle. Is that what you
That's
used
what
when you
that
made
is?
your French onion soup?
You can use that, absolutely. You can use provolone too. I don't know. I'm just so proud of all these people who are also just loving cheese
I
as
see
much
it.
as
Yes.
me. Do you
I
see
see it in your eyes. You're
You
just
should start a cheese club.
There's already one that exists right here at Katy Kid.
Rivalries.
I'm not going to start one. Darren says Velveeta for grilling and Land O'Lakes for lunch meat sandwiches.
Keep it
Yeah.
original.
Velveeta?
Keep it original.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's processed.
You need a good melty cheese though. Everything's processed. If we
much
ate nothing
chemical.
processed, what would we be eating?
This table.
Eric says gorgonzola on crispy chicken salad.
Similar to blue cheese, but different.
I hate blue cheese. It's gross. It's essentially
What do you
mold.
eat on your wingdings?
Not that.
Get off
It's
this
mold.
couch right now.
Oh, the blasphemy.
All right, we got one more.
And I have a
Luann
condition.
says, and she has a condition,
Me too.
and she still likes it. Luann says, I grew up on brick cheese, always my favorite. My Nona and No-No, is that how you would say it? No-No?
No.
Is that Grandpa?
That might be Grandma.
That feels
Grandpa.
wrong.
It is.
You got a No-No? That feels like a
Wait,
a
what
no-no.
what is brick cheese? Is it just like a brick of cheese?
Yes, like Velveeta.
You know where I went.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
All right. Listen, I was very surprised once to find out that my grandma's famous broccoli and cheese casserole, I was like, please give me the recipe, I want it. She used Cheese Whiz in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I make macaroni and cheese, I put Cheese Whiz in it.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh
good.
wait,
it's a hit.
Weren't you just talking about processed cheese?
Well,
that was
yeah,
a couple
that's
comments
different.
ago.
That's
Did you remember
Did
that?
you just pull out the receipt?
I did. I was pulling up the receipts. It was right here. I remember that. Okay. All right. Glad we had this conversation. It may be cold enough outside to store your cheese on the front porch, but there's some good news to talk about today, starting with a brand new state-of-the-art wellness center at Pitt. We're going to show you inside.
I think stores can't raise prices in real time. Well, think again. Dynamic pricing is here. No tags, no warning. Dr. Jess Galani is back to explain what's happening and how to protect your wallet.
And there are a number of young adults who are already leading, innovating, and making real change in our area. We're talking to students who are tackling big issues and turning their ideas into action. And we're actually meeting members of Junior Achievement's 18 under 18 class and learning how they're shaping the future. That's next. Some of the most impressive leaders right here in our area aren't even old enough to vote yet, but they are already making a big impact. Junior Achievement of Western PA has unveiled their newest 18 under 18 class, celebrating standout students making a difference in everything from mental health to social justice.
This year also marks a major milestone for the program. Here to tell us more, our Junior Achievement President, Patrice Matamoros, and two of this year's honorees, Benshika Jane and Lawrence Park. Welcome to all of you. We're so impressed already. But Patrice, I'm going to ask you first. This is the 5th year for 18 under 18. What makes this program so special?
So I think what it is we're building a community with the program. So we're basically, for 5 years now, we've had 18 students each year, and all of those students go through programming and professional development, and then they're also now in college, our first classes. And so we are having some really amazing stories, but the kids really stay connected through time is what we're finding. A lot of the students from last year or first year are coming to watch the reception and to honor our next class. So
And
super excited.
The celebration is coming up.
It is.
Beginning of February, and you have one new student this year, from a different area.
Yes, West Virginia. And that was really amazing to have somebody come from part of our other territory, which is northern West Virginia.
Yeah.
And we're super excited.
That's great.
That's wonderful. All right, Lawrence, you are teaching other students, your peers, about financial literacy, and you're combining food with it all. Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. So I have an initiative called Everest, which basically, like you said, it mentions or teaches personal finance to other teens in ways that are more relatable and accessible. And there are sort of 3 sub-projects to my bigger project, which is workshops, a newsletter that breaks down financial headlines in ways that are more understandable and easy to read, and also a book that I authored that I have with me.
Oh my
which is
goodness.
like, it's like a kid's book, and it basically focuses on.
Can I see this?
Yeah, sure. Just making financial concepts and jargon more accessible and understandable.
How did you learn about financial literacy at such a young age?
I don't know. I really liked it ever since I was a kid. I thought that it was really interesting that the small efforts that you make sort of compound over time. And as someone that's part of like a young generation, it's interesting to see how your life can change when you start early.
That's wonderful. I'm flipping through this. You're right. It is laid out so easily that anybody can read this. Patrice, you said you flipped through this already and I took away some key notes.
Yeah.
And so Vanshika, tell us about what you do.
Yeah, so everything I do is centered around writing. I've been writing since I was little, and actually just as of last night, I was honored by City Council. I'm the 2-year Youth Poet Ambassador.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Thank you so much. But alongside that, I write for research. I collaborated with a professor from UCLA on writing about epigenetic disorders, and that was actually honored by the Society of Women Engineers, which was amazing to see and carry through. But one of my proudest works has been one of my works that I authored for myself, and that is my novel, Letters to the Empire, which just this summer it climbed to the internationally bestseller list of Amazon, which is incredible to see as well. But all of my writing comes from the community. I became a youth journalist for Pittsburgh, KDKA.
Right.
Yeah, and so being able to connect with the community in that sense, and they offered me a spot to run my own podcast where I interview changemakers from both Pittsburgh and around the globe. So being able to use all those voices and all those stories, especially as a teenager, it's really influenced what I've been doing so far and what I hope to do in the future.
So what do you hope to do in the future?
That's a really tough question, especially now with college admissions coming around. But I absolutely love history, and I love that everything it can teach you. But I also love journalism and the ability to communicate with the entire community. I'm also the student president of the DT Care nonprofit, which is based in Pittsburgh, but it does work internationally in over 4 different continents.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So being able to make that impact, that's really what I hope to do in the future as well.
Patrice, you have to be in awe every single day. I mean, I know that there's amazing work that's happening with junior achievement, and these programs are running through countless schools in our area. But this night and every year now for the 5 years in a row, you get to see this culmination of hard work and really our future leaders.
It's true, and the other thing is we're following them, so we're seeing accomplishments now that are 5 years old that are absolutely amazing, and it is really, really inspiring. And looking at what our next generation is going to do, it gives us great hope, and it's why we get up every morning, because we're really excited about what we have this year with our students. Every year, it's hard. I always say, how are we going to match what we did last year?
Yeah.
And every year we find new students that have matched that or surpassed it.
Wow, I have so much hope for the future, and I am truly inspired by the both of you. So impressive, for sure.
We want to get to the results of our JA question of the week. You can see them on your screen right now. What percentage of alumni say JA influenced them? And take a look at this. 54% of them said yes and weighed in. You can still weigh in too by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. But this was really talking about their work ethic, career choices, money management, and positively influenced by JA and the experience they had.
I'm not surprised by those results at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, what an amazing
Wonderful.
program. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tickets are on sale for Junior Achievement's 18 Under 18 ceremony. It's happening in 2 weeks, Tuesday, February 3rd at Acrisure Stadium. We have more information on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
And still to come on the show, the Phipps Holiday Show is over, but they've got something new springing up at the conservatory. Boaz is showing us around right after the break.
Welcome back to Talk Pittsburgh. Now, think back to college. Do you remember the campus gym? Well, Pitt recently opened its new wellness center, which is becoming wildly popular. It's less campus gym and more high-end fitness club. And let me tell you, this thing is massive, 270,000 square feet. And this isn't just a gym. We're talking multiple floors that include a state-of-the-art fitness center, cycling studio, rock climbing wall, pickleball and other courts, a pool, dance studios, indoor track, a prayer and meditation studio. There's even an esports lounge with various gaming stations like Xbox and Nintendo Switch. So cool. The idea here is total body wellness. And according to Pitt News, some say it's fantastic. Others say it feels like it's made for Instagram as much as leg day. Well, either way, it's sparking conversation and surely changing what college wellness looks like. And shirts and merch commemorating Mike Tomlin's 19 seasons as head coach of the Steelers are flying off the shelves. This morning, Kia Tomlin announced some items are back in stock. She said the response to the Coach T collection following his retirement has been overwhelming in the best way. We'll link you up to the Coach T collection on our website. And we know who's playing the Super Bowl halftime show. This year, punk rock icons Green Day are kicking off the Super Bowl's 60th anniversary celebration in Santa Clara, California. It's a true homecoming for the band. They originally formed in the Bay Area. If you need to add a little green to your day, Heather's finding out more about Phipps' latest spring show.
Sometimes orchids can get a bad rap, Mikey, as you know, for being difficult to take care of. But that's not a problem at Phipps Conservatory, where their orchid and tropical bonsai show is currently running. Boaz is there, and he's checking in with an orchid expert to learn more about this occasionally moody flower. Boaz, in your lifetime as a gardener, have you killed any orchids? I need to know.
Heather, how dare you even ask? Of course I haven't. In fact, one time a friend left orchids with me when they went on a long vacation, and when they came back, those orchids were blooming, just for your information. But you don't have to take it from me. I've got a real orchid expert here. This is Giovanni. He's the horticultural collections manager here. But in addition to that, you have a PhD in orchid science, right?
I did my PhD in orchid evolution and systematics, yes.
Wow. Well, let's take a walk through the show here, because orchids, I mean, they're so beautiful and they can look so many different ways, and they do sort of have a reputation for being difficult to take care of.
Yeah, they are not really that difficult if you can mimic some of the conditions in which they grow in the wild.
Okay.
So a lot of orchids, like the most diversity of orchids happens in the tropics, and they're epiphytic in nature. So it means they grow on top of trees.
Okay.
So oftentimes people think tropics, very humid, very hot, and they kill their orchids by basically like dumping a lot of water on them.
And so, for instance, we're going to look at this orchid over here, and this is from Mexico. It's crazy, and if you look at the base of it, it's sort of growing out of this mound of moss. And so, set the scene for us. What would it be like if we saw this orchid growing in the wild?
So when this orchid grows in the wild, it grows on top of trees, sometimes on rocks.
And so how high up?
Pretty high, actually. The evolution of epiphytism, or growing on top of trees, is basically a strategy that some small plants evolve to be able to reach the light. If you're in a forest, in the tropics, usually it's very dark. You want to get to the sun, so you climb on trees.
Right.
So it's pretty high up there. They're exposed to the sun, the air, so basically they're drying all the time. It's kind of like your kind of mini desert up there.
Wow.
So it rains often, yes, they get water, but they have to use that water quickly.
Right.
So they evolve special roots for that. Orchids have velamen around the roots. It's this white structure that you see here.
Oh, well, it always feels like they have little tails coming out when you see orchids.
Yes, so it's the velamen around the roots. When it's dry, it becomes white because of the diffraction of the light changes. But when you get them wet, as you see in here, they turn green or slightly yellow.
Yeah.
And it's because you can see a chlorophyll at the core of the root.
Wow.
Epiphytic plants, in the case of orchids, can do photosynthesis at the roots as well because it's exposed to sunlight.
Yeah.
So this water gets absorbed really quickly by this spongy tissue called velamen, and the plant then sends it into this thickened stem.
And that's sort of like almost a little canteen where it can store water.
Yes, you're correct. So the plant can basically survive being exposed to drying conditions without having access to wet soil around it all the time.
That's amazing. Orchids are so cool, and maybe now you have a little more confidence in yourself as a orchid, a grower. And you're going to be getting rid of some of these orchids after the show. So some of these are like in Phipps's permanent collection, but some of the other ones you're going to be selling at an orchid sale.
We will, yes. So it will be a members-only sale. We sell all the phalaenopsis and things that we get for the show, but all the things that you see in the stands are part of our orchid collection. We have around 3,000 specimens.
Wow.
So these go back to
and it's
the
like one
collection.
of the best orchid collections in the country.
We do have...
you don't have to be modest here. You don't have to be humble.
We have one of our sub-segments of the collection is the sleeper orchid collection.
Yeah.
And it's one of the prime examples of the sleeper orchid collection in the country.
Oh my
yeah. So you see a lot of sleepers around, and it's from that collection.
Well, who knew Pittsburgh is known for so many things, but we also have one of the best sleeper orchid collections in the nation. How about that?
I learned something new today. Actually, I learned a lot new today. Thanks, Boaz. And before we let you go, I think that you were paying attention yesterday. We did ask our audience which mascot you should interview next. We wanted to share with you.
I've been eagerly following this.
What they said. So take a look at this. This is what they're weighing in on. You can see it down at the bottom of the screen. And the majority of people said Jalapeno Hannah.
Okay, I'm ready to hang out with Jalapeno Hannah. Let's make it happen. I'm going to give her a call later today. We'll set this up.
Can I come though? Because I kind of love her.
Maybe she can bring like sauerkraut Sal and we can sort of all hang out.
Yeah, I think this is a double date that I'm in on. Thanks, Boaz.
All right. Yeah, deal. I'm in.
Okay. The Orchid and Tropical Bonsai Show runs through mid-March at Phipps Conservatory. We're going to have more information for you on our website. Still to come on the show, we are checking in with Barry Pintar in the newsroom for your first look at the KDKA Evening News.
But up next, have you ever been shopping and wondered where's the price? Missing price tags may not be an accident. In fact, stores may be leaving them off on purpose. We're digging into dynamic pricing and what it means for you, the consumer, next. Missing price tags, different prices at different stores, and a whole lot of frustration. Dynamic pricing is spreading nationwide, and it's not slowing down.
Companies are selling the same item, but the price you pay can jump by the hour, the location, or by demand, no warning, no fixed tag. And a new poll, this is not surprising, says people kind of hate it.
Yeah, according to Ipsos, nearly 60% of people said dynamic pricing is the same as price gouging. Yep. So what does this all mean for you going forward?
Dr. Jessica Lanny is here to explain, and this is such an important conversation to have. I think that we're just starting to hear more and more about it. It's becoming something that consumers are a little bit more aware of, but if they aren't, can you kind of explain what this shift is?
Sure. So dynamic pricing is just referring to when the price changes very frequently, and it changes based on a number of different factors. It can change based on your geolocation. It can change if you are shopping online based on how many times you visited that particular product.
Yeah.
It can change based on the cookies that are in your search history that are being used by different websites to make different decisions about who you are as a consumer. So of course, this is something that tech enables in all of these different ways, but I think a lot of us don't think about how that can be possible in a brick and mortar retail setting.
Right.
With the removal of these price tags, that's something that I think everybody is fearing, because if we don't know what price we're supposed to pay, if it's not disclosed to us, then we are not going to be able to make good decisions as consumers.
Right.
Interesting. And so you're saying that a store will purposely not have a price tag on an item, so you don't know how much it costs, and then you take it to the register and it's a surprise? Is that
well,
happening?
It could be that. Sometimes it is more of they have like the price on top of the rack. They're able to change that much more quickly and much more frequently than if it was a hang tag on an individual garment, for example. So if an individual thing has a price, that's one thing. But if you're bringing it to a price checker in a store, or you're pulling up your mobile app, for, all of the stores have their own apps now to check a price, that's where the dynamic pricing factor could come into play.
So I'm so glad that you brought that up, because this experience actually just happened to us over the weekend. Rocco had a gift card for Target. He was so excited. He wanted a new Lego set. Yeah. We were at one Target in our area. It was not on the shelves, so I needed to search in the system, found that they had some in the back. It was $45. I went onto my app. They had the same one in stock on the shelves at a different Target 10 miles away for $10 more.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, what a huge difference. We're not talking about 50 cents or a couple of dollars. And it made me really step back and think, how often is this happening to us on all of the things that we're purchasing?
Yeah, and increasingly as we are doing all of this kind of like, oh, I'm gonna look it up, I'm gonna check the price. Like that's part of why Target got rid of their price matching in, I think it was May or June of 2025. They won't match competitors, but they'll match their own website. So if you're not getting the good price when you look on the website, that's really a disadvantage to consumers.
Yeah.
And if you're pulling up a price and showing that, that's showing that the price matching that they have is not actually helping us.
Yeah.
There's a system that they use that's called surveillance pricing. It's different from dynamic pricing. And people found that if they were within 50 feet of a Target store, the price that would show on the app would be different than if they were outside of a Target store. So I wonder if that Lego set would have been $10 less if you were 50 feet away from that Target.
That store. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I should say I did not reach out to Target for any kind of explanation on this. This was just a personal experience that I went through and did not like follow up for additional information.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing, even like neighborhood to neighborhood, kind of what Heather was speaking about when it comes to grocery stores. And I went to buy a jar of spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
And it was $13.
Yeah.
in my neighborhood. But then someplace else, where I would go, it'd be $10.
This does feel like we just started to make some changes in the healthcare industry where you may not have known 5 or 10 years ago how much your x-ray was going to cost.
Yeah.
We're seeing these prices laid out because of certain rules and laws that are put in place, and yet we're now not seeing it. It almost feels like this would be illegal. This should be illegal.
Yeah, I feel like it should be. There are regulations in Pennsylvania that require unit pricing to be displayed at the point of sale, but there, as far as I know, aren't any regulatory measures to make sure that people are paying even pricing across the same retailer. So stores are able to do this. I know that there had been, efforts at the legislative level to get rid of junk fees from like airlines, for example, but I don't know if there's any kind of push. I feel like there should be from consumers to push for there to be fairness in our pricing.
Right, exactly.
Very interesting.
Just to make sure, even one neighborhood isn't paying more. I mean, we're talking about within the same, like in Western PA, 30 miles away from each other.
Yeah, totally.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Jess.
All right, Dr. Jess is hosting a workshop on teens and digital hygiene on January 31st at the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh's Carrick branch. We'll have more details for you on our website.
Still to come on the show, KDKA reporter Barry Pintar is standing by in the newsroom with the stories you don't want to miss tonight on the KDKA Evening News. Take a moment to find out what you can expect to see on KDKA TV News tonight at 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, Barry Pintar is in our newsroom with some of the stories our news team is working on. Hey, Barry.
Yeah, good afternoon, Heather and Mikey. Good to be with you again. Here are a few of the stories our news team has been working on. First, we're following the effects, of course, of these bitter cold temperatures. We're talking about ways to cope. We'll talk about a few things. For example, your car. What are you doing right and what are you doing wrong in driving around in these single-digit temps? Then, of course, it's always important to talk about our pets. We'll focus on the do's and don'ts of our four-legged friends. Also, the search for the Pittsburgh Steelers' next leader continues. If you're on social media at all, you've seen it's filled with rumors and sometimes incorrect info. Where is the search process exactly? Well, we can tell you some have been interviewed. More candidates are yet to be interviewed. Being your official Steelers station, we'll give you the full accurate story and tell you where things stand. Finally, has life become too much for you to handle? Are you thinking about moving somewhere else for a fresh start, just plain starting all over in life? Well, listen to this. A new list of the top 10 places to move in 2026 has just been released, and guess who has made the list? Well, of course, if our newsroom is looking into it, then you probably can guess. Yes, Pittsburgh has been named one of the best places to move to start all over again. Why? Well, we'll tell you why. All that and more starting up in just a few minutes on KDKA's newscast. You want to start all over again? Stay right where you are.
Stay here. You know what? I'm not surprised, Barry. Pittsburgh makes so many top 10 lists, but this one is really interesting.
Yeah. Can you give us one? I know that the whole point is to stick around for the evening news, but can you give us one reason
Now, I always want to fill you guys in. You know what? One of the top reasons they list, again, this I don't think this is going to surprise anyone, is quality of life here.
Yeah.
You know, from the restaurants to the nightlife to gyms. They even say we have great gyms here. So that's one of the reasons. But there are a lot of other ones on why a lot of people say they want to go to Pittsburgh to start all over again. Isn't that fascinating?
It is.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Barry.
You bet.
All right, so to come on Talk Pittsburgh, we're wrapping things up with a look at what you can expect on tomorrow's show. Stay with us.
Thanks for being with us. The KDKA TV News at 4 starts right now.